This is Central Texas Living with Ann Harder.
Since its creation in 1972, the Art Center of Waco has been enriching the community through visual arts, exhibits, classes, creative activities. Alyce Beard has been involved with the Art Center for much of that time, really on and off, now serving on the board of directors, and it's good to have you here.
Thank you, Ann. Nice to be here.
Well, this is kind of an exciting time for the Art Center.
Boy,
It's
I'll
sort
say.
of moved from pillar to post a little bit. A lot of the life of the Art Center was there on the MCC campus, kind of close there in that beautiful building.
Mm-hmm.
And then it started falling apart about 3 years ago.
Oh, I know. Much to our dismay, it was proven to be a unstable building, and we were urged to get out quickly.
I know. I think somebody was working there. They said, "Get your purse and leave." I mean, they just didn't know if the wall would fall in.
Exactly.
Not good. But it was such a beautiful place.
It was
for so
the
long.
William
Perfect.
Cameron summer home. Uh-huh.
Yeah, kind of near where the Northwood Inn, if folks
Right.
remember that, that property there at MCC, beautiful location. So kind of been finding temporary digs
Yes.
in the meantime.
Yes, we originally, upon moving, rented space on Austin Avenue for a couple of years, and then through a very gracious invitation, we are now housed in a cubicle or two area down at the Waco Chamber of Commerce.
So people can go, and do you have an exhibit there? Or
No,
You're just
no, we do
kind of
not.
right now, that's where
No.
you're officing.
Correct. We have exhibits that pop up at different places around town. We also have an art expedition, which is basically a trailer. It's like a box-like trailer
Uh-huh.
that has been converted into like a little mini museum. It has in it some juried artwork. It travels around in a normal school year to mostly WISD school
Really?
classes.
How long has this been going on?
Oh gosh, not really sure. 4 or 5 years,
Really?
perhaps. And we call it the Art Expedition.
Mhm.
And it's a mobile gallery, and it goes to 3rd through 5th graders at area schools. And again, I said primarily WISD. The lessons tie in with language arts and visual arts, essential knowledge and skills, the TEKS plans that the educational systems emphasize. So we tie in our artwork with their studies. So this is an involvement that we have going on during school years, but we have been doing it some this summer. We've had some satellite locations for art classes. We are obviously really strapped for space and all, but we've done virtual classes, as well as we did have some in-person summer classes for our younger students, and had those at various satellite places that people allowed us to use their empty space. And it was successful. Interestingly so, but successful. We enjoyed it, and so did the kids.
Well, I mentioned that you've been involved with the Art Center in some capacity for many, many years. Now, your training is as a teacher, right?
Yes.
You were an art teacher.
Yes, I have an art degree
So
from
let's
Baylor.
talk about how did you first get involved with the Art Center Waco?
Okay, I was teaching art, junior high art, down at South Junior on South 8th Street, which is, interestingly enough, where our new home will be. My husband was in law school, and the first time I heard anything about it, a friend, today's friend, Timus Warner, came to me. She was a junior league volunteer, and her job was to go around to all of the WISD and area art teachers and tell them about this new opening. And I believe it opened in October of 1972. This art center was partially funded through urban renewal, a program urban renewal had at that time called Model Cities. And it was then the rest of it was funded through Junior League and various individuals that supported it. Anyway, they had a small studio space on Franklin, and or it could have been Austin, I'm not sure, I can't remember now. Anyway, one of my law school girlfriends her husband was in it also. And I walked over because we both lived on 8th Street also.
Yeah.
And went over to check it out. We were told that they had a lot of scholarships available, and most of the students that I taught in that neighborhood would be eligible. So we were interested in checking it out. Went over there, fell in love with the program, ended up signing up for a course myself, and got a partial scholarship since I was a struggling school teacher putting a husband through college, and started promoting my students to go to the classes. They had a few after school classes and several on weekends when they first got started. The next semester, I actually was an assistant teacher in it, and I've been associated with the Arts Center ever since. Always associated in some form, but not always. There were a few years here and there where I wasn't as active as I am now or had been in other years, but I've always enjoyed it. Always felt it was a very important part of the Waco lifestyle. There's a tendency, as you know, Ann, where the arts in public schools especially get dissed. If there's ever money to be cut, that's where it usually comes in.
Fine arts, yeah.
Right. So I thought it was a very valuable and worthy project to always support because, as I said, we have always had scholarships. Ever since then, we have always provided scholarships for any student that showed an interest. Just recently, one of our board members, Lance Magid's father died, Mike Magid, who a lot of people knew in Waco because they have a studio gallery and he was the family's involved in the arts. When he died, the family requested that all contributions be made to set up a Magid family scholarship fund for the Arts Center. Oh. And as a matter of fact, last night at our board meeting, they announced that it's just nudging $8,000.
How wonderful.
Just for a few weeks. So we hope it continues to increase, and starting this next summer, there will be scholarships that go out for that. I personally, sometimes or often, I give donations to the Arts Center for Christmas presents for my friends, and I do it, and I put on the card, I said, this is going towards a scholarship for the Arts Center, children of Greater Waco.
Over the years, is there anyone that comes to mind that has gone through the program and become an artist?
Oh, that's hard to say. I'm sure there are.
I know your daughter is quite an accomplished artist herself.
My daughter took lessons there, yes, and she is, and I'm sure there's many, many more that have. But Anne, not everybody can be an artist as such, a professional artist certainly. But for example, I am an art major, but I never considered myself extremely talented in the actual painting or drawing process. Above average, yes, but I never considered myself really high leveled. But I'm a great art teacher. I'm a great art appreciator.
Yeah.
And that's the thing we need to instill in people is
while
you may not end up being a famous artist or an artist that can earn a living, you can learn to appreciate and enjoy art and fulfill yourself with that enjoyment and that joy. And it is a true joy. You can learn to see art in nature through studying art, through a sketching class, a painting class, a pottery class. Your eye becomes trained to seeing art in very primitive ways up to very sophisticated ways. And that's what's so important to me, especially about our Arts Center, is the programs that teach both children and adults, and especially children, to not be afraid of art, but to encourage their creativity and to enjoy, to be for it to be a noticeable part of their lives and an enjoyment.
Well, I really, I think the work of the Arts Center over the years and what it's done to enrich the community can't be overstated. You mentioned the new home. It's a bit of a ways yet from actually becoming a reality, but it's getting closer. I know you recently have had an online fundraising effort, and that was in lieu of Table Toppers, which is a fabulous event, and of course a lot of people in various nonprofits have had to be very creative in coming up with other ways to raise funds. So let's talk about the status of the new Arts Center. Now, you say it's located on 8th Street. It
Yes.
had been the LULAC building, correct?
Yes, it was a LULAC child care center for the neighborhood, and it was for many years. I'd say it was in the block next to South Junior, and then I lived one block on the other side.
And there's a church on
a church
this
on
other
the,
side
on
of
the
it.
other side, a beautiful old
Yes,
church.
beautiful church.
And the actual physical address is 701 South 8th Street.
It's kind of right at the Silo District.
Absolutely.
Very good location for you guys.
Absolutely. And also, of course, very accessible and close to I-35. So after we move in, we hope to have a lot of news coverage on it and
sure.
alert people that this is still and yet another dropping off point and venue for people visiting Waco to see.
Because you will have exhibits.
Absolutely.
Notable artists and so forth. And what a great thing to have a venue for artists.
Yes.
To be able to
Yes.
to showcase their work. You've got a good bit of money raised.
Yes.
What 1.3 already?
1.2
1.2 million.
Right now we need 1.3 to complete the building, and probably another 0.4 to get it completely furbished. So a total of 1.7.
Lots of windows, though. I think the natural light's going to be wonderful
Right.
for that building, but it is just a shell right now.
Correct. It is. The land around it and the building have been completely purchased with funds that we already have raised. You said we're a ways off. Actually, we are as close as 6 months off.
Really?
Yes, but that is only if we get some help.
Yeah.
And that help would be we need to secure $150,000 a year in pledges for 3 to 5 years to give a cash flow while we're in this process. That can come in any form. It could be one person donating the $150,000 this
fine.
year,
Yeah.
or it could be 15 families, or it could be 100 families. It could be paid on a monthly basis, quarterly basis, yearly basis, all at once, whatever. We do not think that this is an impossible goal at all to get that 150,000. There are a lot of people who have been impacted by the arts, not just the Arts Center, but by the arts in general. And I think that they know what a valuable asset that is to our town.
Well, it is, and you've said it well, and I appreciate your passion for the Arts Center Waco and your dedication to helping things out. How can folks get more information? I know you take volunteers. You've got all kinds of ways people can kind of plug in and help. What's the best way for them to get information?
Well, the first thing is we do have a website, www.artcenterwaco.org. So go to that. It will always list all of our current activities. It lists our future activities. It also, you can join the Arts Center on this website.
Yeah, make that monthly commitment.
Yes.
That would be great.
We have memberships that range from $30 a year, which is for a student, an educator, or an artist, then going to $45, $60 for a family, and then our premium levels, which go all the way up to $1,200 a year, and then for businesses up to $2,500 a year. So we are grateful for all of the people and businesses that have supported us over the years and continue to. it's unbelievable the support that people will give, and we've seen that in our building program where we've had a lot of in-kind donations coming in for that.
Right. I know the architects and so forth have done.
Masonic Construction is doing it for cost. You might remember they did Jubilee grocery store at cost.
Very giving.
Yeah, very giving.
Group, yeah.
And so Ed Masonic and Masonic Construction are doing that. Jed Walker with Walker Engineers, and Grant Dudley with, it's RBDR. Architects.
Very architects, yes.
Those,
I wasn't going to try, but I know it was letters.
Get confusing.
we can't thank them enough. Can't thank them enough
Absolutely.
for how giving they are. And the excitement, though, about the Art Center is really what's fun to experience. And so glad that you were able to spend some time with us, Alyce.
Thank you so much, Ann. I so appreciate your interest in the Art Center and furthering Waco with such a vibrant and essential part of our community. Thank you.
Hello, and thank you for tuning into KNOW Waco. I am your host, Debbie, here to help you get in the know about Waco. So you may be asking yourself, why am I here? I'm here to be your tour guide through Waco. I'm here to tell you all the goings-on in and around Waco. I'm going to give you the 411 on what's happening, what's going on, and what events you should go to. This is your host, Debbie, signing off. Now that you know, go. Just go, Waco.
You are going on a run.
Are you building a new business while managing a family? Are you tired of trying to balance home and work and everything seems to be coming up short? Then there's a podcast made just for you. Baking Your Business from Scratch is where we create the perfect recipe for building a successful business while managing your home and family with love. Come join us and see for yourself.
TIAA is on a mission. Why? Because 54% of Black Americans don't have enough savings to retire. So in collaboration with big-name artists like Wyclef Jean, TIAA released Paper Right, new music inspiring a new financial future. With 100% of streaming sales going to a nonprofit that teaches students how to invest. Stream Paper Right now and help close the gap.
Grassroots Waco is committed to a brighter future for children, neighbors, and communities. Joining me now is Jocelyn Johnson. And, your mission statement talks about a healthy neighborhood being one that's clean and safe and diverse. Let's talk about Grassroots. What does this organization mean to the community?
Well, it actually started out as an organization that worked around housing, so building affordable houses for low-income and moderate-income families and helping them to actually imagine themselves being homeowners. So it started out like that in 2001. A bunch of architects got together, had their own board of directors, and established this program. And so there's a housing side to it. So we offer the financial literacy courses, the housing development courses that people can take to help them to get ready to buy a house, whether they buy one that we build for them around Waco or they buy one that they have found on their own. But then the community organizing side gives us a chance to be in the community, network with the businesses, the churches, the schools, and those residents that are now living in those communities to find the resources that they need, kind of be that bridge to help them to know where they can get help, where they can get resources, how they can be involved in their community, and take on leadership roles also within their communities.
So are you seeing neighborhoods kind of being revitalized?
Yes, in some ways neighborhoods have been revitalized or just even developed more within those. So I think to date, we're at about 68 homes that we have built over the course of time. We've done some remodeling of homes and help there also, but just building up the community in that way and building relationships among community leaders with the community associations, again, the churches, the businesses that are coming into the areas, the schools, a little bit of everything.
What does that mean when someone can, make that step to home ownership?
I think just with my experience, I'm fairly new to Grassroots. I've been there almost a year, coming up this fall. But I think for someone who is looking to buy a home, it helps them to really see that this is possible. Sometimes there's that myth of you need so much money, you need so much this or that. And our housing counselor, Daryl Abercrombie, really works well with people to help them to know the process. So we bring in real estate experts, we bring in home inspection people, we bring in a little bit even will and estate for future planning. So that people kind of know processing of how things go, and even helping them to build their connections with the real estate community, and also know how to manage a budget, or if they don't know, or what is needed. And so there's different companies that we work with in the home buying process. So it kind of just gives people a very laid back kind of very straightforward process in knowing what to do.
Yeah, it can be daunting. Mm-hmm. It can be mind-boggling in a way to think, oh man, it's just easier to write that rent check or whatever. But you do provide classes.
Yes,
I know financial, competency and those kind of things. Is there a charge involved with that? How does somebody get involved with taking one of these courses?
Sure, they can definitely call our office. Or they can look on our Facebook page. We always advertise there to let you know when the next financial literacy classes or the home buying classes are available. In fact, the financial literacy classes usually happen the last Saturday of each month. So we have one coming up on the 29th of August. So there's still time to do that. Right now we're doing everything virtually. But in before COVID, we were doing things in person. So now we're offering it in both ways so that you can still do that. The home buying course is a little bit longer process. I think it's about 6 weeks. And so you have to, commit to that time. So that is set up. I think it's on either Thursday evenings or something like that, where you can still set up, but you will find out more information from our Facebook page about when it happens. You can do the intake form online, all those different things, and someone can get back in touch with you about it.
Mm-hmm. You've also got some, lots of things happening in the community, but one thing that happened last year, Van Davis with Baylor, and This is just an exciting. It's called Move East Waco,
yes.
Right?
Uh-huh.
And first of all, how did that go last year?
It went really, really well. I think everyone who participated in it enjoyed it. We had a variety of different ages and people from all over Waco. It primarily is housed or held in East Waco, but we had people from all over Waco to come and participate, whether they were living in the area or just outside of East Waco. I think we had a variety of different types of exercises that everyone could be involved in, so it doesn't matter whatever your mobility is. The instructors were great at knowing their audience and really looking at that and kind of tailoring their activities towards whatever the group wanted to do. So, and I felt like from talking to some of the participants that people really enjoyed it. They enjoyed the camaraderie, seeing each other each week or every other week whenever they were
like
able to
exercise classes.
Yeah, so
basically,
it was exercise classes, and there were also health education tip sessions afterwards, about 10 or 15 minutes. People from all over the Waco area. It could have been from our recycling center to one of our mental health resources in the area that would come in and give tips about the relaxation and sleep. It could be about diabetes prevention or what to do to continue your diabetes health or blood pressure screenings and all sorts of different things. We even had a couple of holistic instructors come in and talk about meditation, or we had a doula come in and talk about. Yeah, so it was great. It was insightful information that if it didn't hit your particular lifestyle or something with you, you could pass it on to someone else.
Now, this was at Oscar du Congé, right? At the
during the summer or warmer weather, it happened there, but mainly when school started, we moved to G.W. Carver's middle school gym, so we were able to access that, and that was really helpful, especially when it got colder and the time changed, so it got darker too quickly.
Okay, well, we've got a whole new session coming up,
Yes.
right? Or in fact, it's underway. It's been underway for about a week now, and so you meet on what days for the Move East Waco?
So Move East Waco will still meet at its normal time. Originally, it had set up for Tuesdays and Thursdays from 6 to 7, and you'll be able to access all of the videos or all of the activities through our Facebook page. Okay. So just look for the Move East Waco Facebook page. We have, a variety of instructors and health educators who are going to be coming on between 6 and 7 on those days.
And so these will be Facebook Lives.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Facebook Live. Yeah.
So you can just take part at home while you're while you're watching. It's things that we have had to change the way we do things because of social distancing and so forth. Let's talk a little bit about you though, Jocelyn. What brought you say recently, relatively, you went to work with Grassroots Waco, last December? So,
yes.
So coming up on a year anniversary. Where'd you come from? How did you get to this job?
Okay, I am originally from the East Coast. I'm really originally from Maryland, but I married a Texan, a Wacoan, in fact, and moved here to Waco. And so I'm a music educator by right, classically trained flautist. And when I moved here to Waco, I was trying to figure out if I wanted to go back into the classroom or do something else. I also have a background in diversity and inclusion and social justice work. So I was doing some just different jobs, trying to figure out what I wanted to do. I was actually an office manager for a retirement community in the Waco area, and I was on Facebook, and Grassroots Community Development came up, and they said they were looking for a community organizer, and I liked what I read about what their framework was all about, especially the community organizing side. It still allows you to be able to be a part of the school community, so I still be able to work with teachers or the district and mentoring with students and just helping with PTA work and all sorts of things. So it still allowed me to be within the school system, but it also allowed me to also work within the greater community to see how Waco, learn more about the history of Waco, see how it's thriving, see the historical backgrounds of all over, the businesses, the churches, again, just the neighborhoods in general. And so I applied for the position, and I guess they like what they saw too. So here we are.
Very good. Well, we're glad. Welcome to Central Texas. And now that's great. Do you get a chance to perform any of your music since you're classically trained flautist?
I do on some venues, such as I started playing. I actually have been a handbell director, so I was looking for handbells in the area, and First United Methodist of Waco has a big handbell program, and so I started there with them, playing with them, and then one of the pastors of one of their satellite churches asked me to come and play flute there. So I've played flute at their church. I've played for the retirement community. I've done a couple of things like at Lakeshore Estates and at Stillwell Retirement Community, played for them, and just done some things like that. I also am a part-time kind of music instructor at Music and Arts of Waco in the Central Texas Marketplace. So I do get a chance to still do that. I don't get a chance right now to do as much playing as I like freelance work or with a small ensemble or orchestra, but it still keeps me going.
Mm-hmm. Oh, those days will come.
Yeah.
Those opportunities will come. Grassroots Waco, of course, needs to raise money, and I think you have a golf tournament set for October.
Yes, I'm still, like I said, learning a little bit about that. When they mentioned it, I was like, wow, we're still going to keep that golf tournament going. So I'm eager.
Golf is fine. I mean, you play that outside,
right.
and you can socially distance.
Yeah, so I'm eager to see how that will will come to pass. I'm not a golfer myself, but I will definitely participate in any way that I can. But yes, Grassroots, along with a lot of the other nonprofits, are always looking for ways to raise money to help the community. A lot of our funding are through grants that we have received, like through United Way, through Waco Foundation. We work with other organizations, to do those. So yeah, but individual or small companies who want to definitely find out what we're doing and how they can partner with us, we are more than welcome to talk to you about that.
Well, it's a wonderful organization, and so happy that you are now there lending your wonderful talents to that. I like to end these visits, though, with a little questionnaire, similar to the one that the late, great James Lipton would ask to his guests on Inside the Actor's Studio. I don't know if you're familiar with that show, but what's your favorite word?
Inspire. I would say inspire or inspiration.
What's your least favorite word?
I'd probably say hate, because you don't always like something, but hate. Yeah, but to hate, that's a strong word.
Yeah, it is. What turns you on creatively, spiritually, or emotionally?
Creatively, I guess it's curiosity. Probably spiritually too, that we're all still curious about what is to come, but curiosity.
What turns you off creatively? Or
not being open. Yeah, just kind of being stagnant.
What sound do you love the most? A flute?
Yeah, right. Exactly. Probably a sound of a flute.
Put words in your mouth.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking of a flute myself. But
I like the sound of the ocean.
yeah, yeah, very good. What sound do you hate?
Probably the alarm clock.
Right. What other profession would you want to try?
Probably something in like project management. I've found that one of my strengths has to do with like being an arranger, the composer, the scheduler type person, and seeing that through. So something with maybe project management.
What job do you know you would not want to do?
I would probably say construction. I can't see myself. I like building things. I like putting things together, things on the wall, but building, a house or something, volunteering, but not on a regular basis.
All right. Well, what do you want to hear God say to you when you get to the pearly gates?
Oh my goodness. Ooh, I guess you have done well, my daughter of Zion, that, maybe you didn't always listen, but you have done well.
Oh, well, you have done well. Thank you so much, Jocelyn, for being with us. Grassroots Waco again. How can folks get information from you?
They can definitely look on our Facebook page or call our office or even email me at jocelyn@grassrootswaco.org.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Central Texas Living is part of the Rogue Media Network family. Be sure to check out their other shows at roguemedianetwork.com. Please rate us 5 stars on iTunes and anywhere else you get your podcasts. Join us again soon for more Central Texas Living, the podcast.
This has been Rogue Media Network Podcast.